Hey everyone, it's that time again. Time for the complete rework of Genji. So as you remember, I previously had a video of how to fix Genji, and it was kind of a bunch of ideas I was throwing out the wall. And I saw what you guys had to say in the comments, and after reading through every single comment, I was able to design the Genji that I think the community has essentially decided on. So yeah, here it is. I actually like this quite a bit, as you're gonna see as I go through everything I changed. And I've been playing a lot of Genji, trying to power through, but he's actually just really bad, despite Blizzard saying his win rate is like 50-50. But that's a survivorship bias. I have a video on that that I think I'm gonna probably make a part 2 because they keep saying the same thing. And survivorship bias as in the only people still playing Genji are people crazy enough to kind of get over that hump and be really good at him, or just trying to power through his just trashy gameplay. But yeah, that'll be a video for another day. Anyway, let's begin with the complete rework. So first I'll go through the problem. So to list off the problems with Genji, well, it started when they completely kind of gutted his ammo, right? They reduced the amount of shuriken he has, and they at the same time reduced how much damage each of the shuriken do. Those two brought him from being a very effective person at, getting in the back line and, being able to get a pick, to just completely ruining him. Like completely, just overnight, just kind of fell off the cliff. They did this because it was when support characters were getting used to not having a secondary tank, an off tank to kind of be able to kind of peel for them. And that's because, they were learning how to play without an off tank. Overwatch 2 was new, so, they were just kind of there, and it really felt bad for them. So the chain of events is that they removed the secondary tank. Support, being new to Overwatch 2, don't know how to play without a secondary tank protecting them. So they get punished by Genji really hard, so Blizzard destroys Genji. However, during that time, not only did they nerf Genji, change the DPS passive, and buff all the support characters, but the support characters also learned how to play without a tank protecting them. So Genji just got completely screwed, like 5 different ways. And Blizzard is just sitting there saying, well, his win rate is still 50-50, but like nobody plays him anymore. Like he sucks. He objectively sucks. And I'm saying this as I like learning the hard characters. Again, I main Genji for DPS, Genji and Echo, because I like the dynamicness of them all. But he's just objectively not good. He's not good. And it's just people like me sticking it out. That's probably the only reason why it's 50-50. Anyways, remember, when I do these things, one of the main things I like to go for is the overall flow. So like, kind of make sure everything kind of flows smoothly. Like you can kind of slide into the different things he wants to do pretty, again, smoothly. So yeah, and I do kind of have a wild card at the end. However, it was more of a wild card in the last video, but I think through reading through the comments and stuff, I think it's a really possible thing to do, and I'll explain why. So yeah, stay tuned for that in the wild card section. So yeah, anyways, without further ado, let's begin. So the first thing I want to do is his shuriken ammo is now buffed to 30. If you think about it, it means he's able to shoot 10 times before being forced to reload. That's not a lot, right? I think that's very reasonable. Maybe damage potential wise, it's a lot more, but he spends a bunch of time just kind of poking at the enemy anyways, so I don't think that's too drastic of a change. And I think this is the only change that needs to be done to his shuriken, because 99% of the time that you die, it's because you run out of shuriken and you don't have anything to do to finish off the person. And there's so much healing that's happening, and there's just a lot of things like that kind of snowball. And again, I play Genji a lot, and again, 99% of the time, I just I ran out of shuriken, and then the person like heals up, or I'm chasing the person and they're just kind of going, and I'm like, it feels like it takes forever to reload, and it happens just so often. Now, some of you may be asking, why don't you increase the damage? And well, for a few reasons. One, keep watching and you'll see the other buffs he gets, and you'll see why he doesn't just get the flat damage increase. Number 2, the way to do heavy damage with Genji that lower skilled players aren't really able to do is double jump over the person and hit them in the head. Like it sounds hard when you say it, but then you actually try it, and if you do that, like half your shots are like headshots. Like I think I want to preserve that skill ceiling element of playing Genji. Also, it makes you essentially impossible to die if you're double jumping on a target in like gold and below, because you double jump like, oh, I can't hit him, he's everywhere. So so yeah, I want to keep that skill ceiling for him over there. So yeah, let's move to the dash, and I think this is some of my favorite stuff right here. So the first thing I changed for the dash is the cooldown is now reduced from 8 seconds to 6. I have no idea why this move has such a large cooldown. Look, it's not even that crazy of a move. It's not that powerful, in my opinion, at least. To be on an 8-second cooldown, that's wild to me. I feel like his dash should be a very flowy part of his kit that he can just kind of throw in and out with all his other moves, right? Like Doomfist can punch every 4 seconds. However, if it's reduced to 6 seconds, I think I would probably also have to completely remove the cooldown reset when he kills somebody. I think that's a trade everyone would be willing to make, if I'm being honest, just to kind of have it more consistently there. But maybe, keep both so that you still have that skill ceiling element to it. But I think the 8 seconds cooldown is ridiculous. And one thing I've also realized, everyone is so mobile now that he has a lot of trouble chasing people down. Look, everyone's mobile. Like, even when you're attacking support characters can get the hell away now, like very, very consistently. So yeah, I'd like him to be able to use this, maybe twice in a fight, either to engage and run away, or engage and eventually chase, or just to chase. Like, I think the 6 second cooldown, he'll be able to get it twice in a fight. While you're engaging somebody. Let's say if an encounter lasts like, I don't know, 12 seconds or 15 seconds or something like that before you have to get out, he'll be able to use it. And I don't really think Genji works if he can't chase people. No, get ready, guys, because the second change is a big one. Maybe the biggest. His dash now resets his ammo. Again, his lack of ammo is his biggest weakness, in my opinion, when playing him. And honestly, with the reduced cooldown of this move, while giving it the ability to refill your ammo, I might not even need to increase the ammo capacity like I did in the shuriken section, because you get a free refill every 6 seconds. So a high skill ceiling part could be managing all of this. So the third thing, well, it's not really a third thing, because okay, so this is one thing I really wanted, but everyone in the comments was like, no. So I'm not going to put it in, because, that's the rules of how this works, right? It's not just me. But I really wanted to do this, but everybody was like, that's a bad idea. And everybody was like, that might be a bit too much. It might make him a little bit too powerful, or, something like that. But I just want to say, I'm not implementing it, but this is just what I wanted that everybody said no to. But I thought it would be awesome if he's able to turn where he's facing while dashing. So not affecting where he goes, right? Like, just, he still is going to go in the straight line, but kind of like how Doomfist, when he's sizing slams, he could still kind of turn around a little bit. Just where he's facing, not where he's going. I think that would be very good for Genji to be able to change where he's facing while he's dashing. And again, some people thought it would make him a bit broken, because being able to dash into a person and essentially instantly be facing them again to kind of, hit a volley into them is, admittedly, it's pretty powerful, but it's so clunky the way it is now, because you have to dash and then you have to turn around and hit them. It's a lot. So yeah, I still want it, but everyone said no, so this won't be included. I'm just mentioning, guys, because I'm a little salty. Okay. Anyways, let's go into the Deflect. And actually, the Deflect is where I have my wildcard idea. So this was my wildcard idea in the last video, but the comments really thought it was a good idea, with some changes. So Deflect now, when used against beam weapons, stops 50% of the damage, but charges all his sword-based attacks. So his ultimate, his dash, and his melee. The reason for this is that there are so many beam characters now, having one or two of them on the enemy team really prevents you from being able to do anything. Right, you have Moira's Suck, Mei's Freeze, Ray, Zarya's Beam, Symmetra's Laser. Like, all these characters are played a lot, and then I do think he needs some form of defense against them, because one, they don't even need to aim that well, right? Like, they just kind of spray in the direction, and he's just completely has to run away. He's just out of his element. And I imagine this like in the animes where the sword can absorb energy and, you know, power itself up. I think it was also in The Legend of Zelda. I think so, in Breath of the Wild. Oh, I'm excited for the new one, Tears of the Kingdom, I think it's called. But yeah, I might take off work for a week to play that game. But yeah, I think that would be awesome. So you see, kind of like what I'm suggesting is kind of, I'm trying to include the special things about him a bit more, which is, I guess, his swords and things like that. So I would increase the power of the sword attacks by maybe 20 to 30%, something like that, and probably lasts for 5 seconds when it's fully charged, or maybe it has some decay mechanic to it. I know in the last video I made, I said like maybe depending on which beam he's kind of absorbing, it has different qualities to like his melee attacks. So if he's like absorbing the May freeze, maybe he has a slowing effect on the character. So yeah, anyways, let's move on to the ultimate. So for the ultimate, I would like to change the way it's used. Instead of having it be your left click, the sword slash will be replaced by his melee. That way you can keep using your shuriken during the ultimate. It just dramatically upgrades his melee attack, essentially, is what his ult's going to be now. Meaning he can still use his shuriken and all the other moves he has the same way. The reason for this is because, like, kind of like what I said before, one of his major flaws, it's hard chasing people down. Like, even in his ultimate, it's hard to chase people down. Let's say you dash up in the air, then you get your dash back, so you activate your ultimate, you dash back down, and then everybody just scatters. And then you're just like, oh man, like you can't do anything. It sucks. And people are good at escaping now, especially support characters. And what I've said even with my Doomfist in the video I made about support characters are too strong now. It's much easier to dive on a DPS character than it is support characters now, which is wild. I'm gonna make another video about that, probably like a part 2. But yeah, so I think him having his shuriken will at least allow him to attack things at range. Because if I have my ultimate a lot of times, let's say, like I said, I dash up in the air, I activate my ultimate, I dash back down, everybody scatters, and I just have to run. Just have to run after everybody, and it just goes away. Like, it's not good. So yeah, I think allowing him to keep his ranged moves and kind of combo everything together would be really good.
Hey everyone, if you're still watching, it means you're probably enjoying the video. So please like and subscribe, and maybe leave a message too, as it helps for the algorithm, which helps me keep making these videos. Also, don't forget to follow me on Instagram and Twitter to keep up with everything. And if you have a chance, check out my Patreon. It's one of the best ways to support the channel to allow me to keep doing what I do. So yeah, thanks everyone.
Anyways, yeah, that's it. And I think I want to keep this as concise as I can, but as you can see, but yeah, like I said, like you're using your swords more, you're using the different things that make Genji special a lot more with this new rework, because now his melee is used a lot more, right? His dash is more available. He's able to power up his melee or power up his sword attacks or all that type of stuff. And you're not spending all your time reloading. You have more ammo and you get to get your ammo back. So, and yeah, he's a flanker that just can't chase anybody. It sucks. Even Tracer is just better at it. Tracer's better at it. Echo's better at it. If you know how to play Echo, she's really good at it, at chasing people down. And yeah, he's not. He's not. So yeah, I have a few good videos coming out this week, and there's one, this big video I think I'm going to release on Thursday that took me a really long time to write, so I hope you guys like that. I think it'll be pretty long. I haven't recorded it yet, but I wouldn't be surprised if it's like 45 minutes long or something crazy like that. Anyways, don't forget to like and subscribe, leave a message for the algorithm, and don't forget, I love you.